In today's video, we'll be recapping the 2008 drama titled Slumdog Millionaire. Set in the year 2006 in India, an 18-year-old guy from Mumbai named Jamal Malik sends waves throughout the country when he's about to win 20 million rupees on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game show. However, his achievement is widely contested because he's from the slums. Did he cheat? Is he lucky? Is he a genius, or were the answers written for him? These are the questions going through everyone's minds because no one has ever gotten that far in the game before. The people immediately conclude that someone from Jamal's background can't achieve something that great, and so the interrogations begin to find out how the boy from the slums would get so close to becoming a millionaire. The story begins with Jamal tied up in a room, being interrogated and tortured by a man. The scene shifts back to the day of the quiz show, where Jamal is only one question away from winning the prize money. Jamal is extremely nervous, and not just because he's waiting to hear the final question. It turns out that the audience and even the host are taunting him to throw him off his game. Back to the interrogation scene, a police inspector who appears to be the torturer's superior walks into the room to find out what Jamal has confessed, but the guy insists that he didn't cheat on the quiz show. In a flashback, little Jamal, his older brother Salim, and some other kids are playing on the streets before being chased home by some police officers who are confronted by their mother. Sometime later, Jamal and his classmates are given the assignment to read the book titled The Three Musketeers. Back in the present, we see that Jamal has been untied, and the police inspector has decided to take another approach in his interrogation. He takes Jamal to his office where they watch the show again and asks him to prove how he knew the answers to each question that he was asked. The first question pops up, and it requires the name of the star actor in an Indian movie. In another flashback scene, young Jamal goes to use the very unhygienic public toilet in the slums, but gets locked inside by his older brother Salim. He hears people yelling about a popular movie star who happens to be Jamal's idol, so he jumps into the toilet, desperate to escape. Covered in feces, Jamal runs through the crowds and easily makes it to the star because they all clear the path for him since no one wants to get their clothes stained. Jamal is lucky enough to get an autograph, and his mother gives him a bath when he gets home. Unfortunately, his bratty brother Salim steals the autograph and sells it later that night. Fast forward to the present day, and the inspectors query Jamal for asking the audience for help on his second question. They insinuate that his partner in crime wasn't around at the time, but Jamal states that he just wanted to use a lifeline. On to the next question, which is apparently based on religion, because he's asked what weapon the god Rama uses. Young Jamal is playing in the water while the adults wash their clothes, but suddenly, there's a commotion because the Muslims in their area are being attacked and killed. Jamal and his brother run to find their mother, but when they do, they see her being attacked by the men. They manage to escape with the help of the god Rama, who Jamal sees holding a bow and arrow. Older Jamal answers the question correctly to win 16,000 rupees, so the annoyed host picks on him again to discourage him. Young Jamal and Salim are stranded after their mother's death, so they become homeless. One night, they see a girl crying in the rain, and Jamal invites her to join them at Salim's behest. She introduces herself as Latika, an orphan just like them. The trio lives on the streets until one day, a man named Maman takes them to a place with many other children. He feeds them and teaches them songs, promising prizes to the best singers, but little do they know he is preparing them to work as beggars for him. Due to Salim's heady nature, Maman decides to make him the leader of the other children and teach them songs, but Latika doesn't like him. So one night she pranks him by putting peppers in his pants. When Maman wakes up, he sees what has happened and decides to show Salim a secret. He takes him to a room where a child with a beautiful voice named Arvin sings to them. Afterward, he removes Arvin's eyes in front of Salim and tells him that this is to make people feel pity for him and give him more money when they hear him sing. He then tells Salim to call Jamal because he is next in line to be blinded. Salim finds Jamal talking with Latika about the Three Musketeers and informs him that Maman wants to see him. While Jamal is singing, Salim uses a poisonous liquid to attack one of Maman's men before escaping into the bushes with Jamal and Latika. The two brothers make it onto a train, but Maman catches Latika. Back in the quiz show, this experience helps him answer the next question because he knows the name of the poet that composed the song Maman taught them. Over time, the two brothers secretly live on the train, but one day, they are caught stealing food, which leads to them falling off the train. They fall near the Taj Mahal, and when they enter, people assume Jamal to be a tour guide. He snatches the opportunity and makes a lot of money from the gig. Jamal and Salim end up living in a slum near the Taj Mahal, and one night, Jamal watches a performance that reminds him of Latika. The next day, the brothers set out to look for her, but after searching without making any progress, Salim gives up on finding her. Jamal, on the other hand, has strong feelings for Latika and is resolute in finding her. One day, he meets blind Arvin singing in an alley, so he gives him $100. Arvin doesn't believe him when he says how much it is, and Jamal doesn't know whose face is on the bill, so Arvin tells him that it's Benjamin Franklin. Jamal then asks Arvin about Latika, and after the chat, he decides to confront Maman. Back in the game show, older Jamal is asked whose face is on the $100 bill, and thanks to Arvin, he knows it's Benjamin Franklin, so he answers correctly. Young Jamal and Salim eventually find Latika working as a street dancer, but before they can escape with her, Maman and his men intercept them. Suddenly, Salim pulls out a gun and shoots Maman dead. This experience helps older Jamal win 2.5 million rupees by answering the next question, naming the inventor of the revolver. After escaping, Jamal, Salim, and Latika live together until one day, Salim goes out to meet a man named Javed. It turns out that Javed is Maman's rival, and when Salim reveals that he killed him, Javed recruits him into his gang. This turn of events causes Salim to forcibly take Jamal's love interest, Latika, away. When Jamal tries to stop his brother, Salim points a gun at him, so he backs down. Reliving the tragic moment, older Jamal loses control and attacks one of the officers who made a dirty joke about Latika. After the interview, the police inspector asks Jamal how got on the show in the first place. He then reveals that he filled in for his friend who worked at a phone service company. One night when the game show is on, he takes the opportunity to search for Salim's number and contacts him. His experience at the phone service company also helps him answer one of the questions on the game show. For the first time in many years, Jamil meets with Salim at a construction site, and when he asks about Latika, he tells him that she's gone, but Jamal doesn't believe him. As a result, he secretly follows Salim to Javed's house, and sure enough, he sees Latika there, and the two lock eyes. A while later, Jamal infiltrates the house to see Latika. He notices that she also watches the quiz show, so he asks her why everyone is obsessed with it. She tells him that it's because the show can change a person's life for the better. At that moment, Jamal decides that he's going on the show to win it so he can start a new life with Latika. He tells her to meet him at the train station and she agrees but gets caught by Salim and his men who take her back to Javed's house. Back on the game show, Jamal doesn't know the answer to the next question, and during the break, he's approached by the host in the restroom. The host leaves the letter B on the mirror as a hint. However, Jamal doesn't trust him, so after using the 50-50 lifeline, he chooses option D to win 10 million rupees. Just when he's about to be asked the final question, he's captured and accused of cheating, bringing us to the beginning of his interrogation. After hearing his story, the police release Jamal, and he returns to the game show in time to answer the final question. Meanwhile, Salim witnesses his brother's determination and decides to help Latika escape so she can be with Jamal. At the game show, Jamal is asked the final question, and it's about the book titled The Three Musketeers. Hearing the question, Jamal has a wide smile on his face because he knows the answer and is just a few moments from becoming a millionaire. He decides to use his last lifeline to call Latika, but instead of asking her the question, he just asks how she's doing, and when he finds out that she's free, he's even more delighted. The story ends with Jamal winning the prize money, becoming a millionaire against all odds, and reuniting with the love of his life. That's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos like this and don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for watching and see you next time.